Join us each week for some booze-free banter about life without booze.
If you're entertaining cutting back your booze by a day, a week, a month, or for the rest of your life, we would love for you to tune in.
Buckle up and come along for a ride that may just change your life. Just a heads up, some of the conversations we have may be triggering. Reach out to your local support centre in Australia. That's Lifeline 131144.
Booze Free Bants is recorded. I am on Burrawong land. Where are you, Breeza?
I am on Jarjarong land.
And we would like to pay our respects to our elders past and present and emerging, and we would like to acknowledge the original tellers of stories in this country of ours.
So wherever you're tuning into our potty, make sure you know whose land you're on.
Crack a can.
What are you drinking today, Maso?
I am on my all-time favourite. Oh, I can't decide which is my favourite, but currently it's Sanskrit. Let me tell you all about it. What are you on?
I'm on the La Vie and a Rose.
I really love how you say that. I'm just going to tell you about the Sanskrit. So it's the perfect blend of bold red fruits, native Australian ryeberry and lively citrus notes, a complex and refreshing finish with a hint of spice and vanilla notes.
And we probably should point out
notes. We probably
should point out these are Altina drinks.
Yes.
Altina, we love you. Sanskrit is up there with my favourite too, Maso.
Yes, and they do the mulled wine kit, so a little bit of warmth for your winter, and gluten-free, vegan.
Vegan-free, it's all the frees, and sugar is like stuff all. There's hardly any sugar in it.
Doesn't even really need to get a mention.
Nah, scrap the sugar. They've thought of everything. We love it, and we love their new branding's been out for a while now, but it's so classy.
It is classy. Wide mouth, classy can.
Yeah, classy can. Get your mouth around it.
We love you, Altina.
Hey everybody, Eric here, your friendly neighborhood podcast producer, with a reminder to use code BFB10 for 10% off all things at altinadrinks.com. Altina offers alcohol-free drinking options that not only taste great, but also don't have any sugar. Naturally sourced, Australian-made, stylish, fun, interesting, and accessible with their zero-proof, non-alcoholic craft wines and alcohol-free products. So what are you waiting for? This is a discount code exclusive to you listening to this right now. Don't forget, BFB10, 10% off, altinadrinks.com.
Breeza!
Maso!
I don't know why I have to do the arms as well.
You're doing a massive, double fist pump then, weren't you?
Yeah. You're back on that defense. Straight
You're excited. Season 2.
We're back. Welcome back.
We're back. Actually, I've got a song for you, Maso. I've got a song. Let me find it.
I love it that we're having these little...
Oh, hang on. Serious. That's it. That's all you're getting. How good's Eminem?
Oh my God. Do you remember when that song came out? It went off like a frog in a sock. God, I love that tune.
We were living in London at the time.
Yeah, just as I was leaving, it was coming out here. Yeah.
And I reckon one of our mutual friends used to sing, "Two Benny girls go running outside, running outside." It was a whole theme song.
I love it. Tell me, Breeza, how are ya?
Oh, great. I'm great. Had a nice little break.
Yes, tell me about it.
Well, so my future self, when this potty drops, would have been on holidays and had a great time. So you'll have to tune in to future eps to hear how that went.
Yes.
But no, been going good. And you've got your 12 months coming up.
Yeah, it'll be the 9th of August. So I think this drops before or after.
Yeah, so next ep we can have a little party.
Yeah, put the party hat on.
Unreal, mate.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thank you so much. Yes.
How have you been on the break?
Yeah, well, but when this drops, do you know what I will have had done?
Oh, what?
A little skin cancer cut off my face.
Yes.
Yeah, so message to everyone, go get your skin checked.
Great message, Maso.
But I'll tell you what else I've been doing. Going on solo dates.
I've been loving that sick, mate. Loving that sick.
And I highly recommend, I should put in the recos, but I've got another one for that later. But solo dating. And if you are in Melbourne, go to Graceland. It's just near the Westgate Bridge. It has got all the foods, like little I can't explain how many foods there are. There's a sweet street where you've got all the desserts you can think of. There's live music, there's funky music, there's a DJ, there's stuff for the kids. You can bring your dog. Amazing. It's so fun.
Is that permanent, Maso?
Yeah, it's a permanent
cool.
fixture. Yeah.
Cool.
One of my friends actually, MC Charles, so Matthew Charles, he is a friend of mine from Crane. He's actually DJs there as well. He does like rap. He's so cool. He's there. I think he's a resident there on a Saturday night. Anyway, Graceland, get amongst it. I went to the footy, to the Big Freeze as well, and I went to Rising in Melbourne, so the Rising Festival of the Wilds, and I posted it on the last day, which was the meanest tease. Sorry, everyone. Book it in for next year, though.
It looked awesome.
Melbourne. Yeah, so fun. I was glad the ice skating was shut because I definitely would have come unstuck and injured myself.
Proper.
So, yeah. Look, I'll be honest, though, I was a bit – look, there was heaps normal on the menus, which was great, but the rest – alcohol-free drinks was just a token, just like a soft drink, like a tonic. I think it was a tonic, yeah, some sort of like, I don't know. Anyway, next year we'll get all over them.
Next year, yeah.
Or AF drinks, and at Graceland as well. There's a massive space for them to put some AF drinks in there too. So yeah, solo dating, do it.
Massive vibe.
It's so liberating. And you know what, Breeza? When I would do that, I remember going to Broome on my own, and when I'd go into a bar, I'd just beeline. When I'd go out for dinner or something, I'd beeline straight to the bar, get as much as I could, kept my head in my phone, and didn't want to look at anyone. I felt like everyone was looking at me. This time around, I walked into Graceland 7 foot tall, although I am nearly
you were bouncing.
6 foot.
You were bouncing.
I didn't care if people were looking at me. I removed that whole thought process of, oh, God, look at that loser on her own, and thought, no, people looking at me going, look at her go. Do you know what I mean? It's just, yeah. And
I love
took everything in, sounds, smells, didn't have one bit of anxiety. So solo dating, get it in your life.
I actually did a solo date, I reckon it was about 5 years ago, May. So I went down to, you know, those like timeshare things they try and sell you. So I went down because they're like, oh, it was $200 for a 2-night stay in a hotel in Melbourne, and a good hotel, and they're like, you just got to go to a seminar on the Sunday morning. I'm like, here we go. I'm like, yep, no worries. So I like armored myself up, and I was only going to the seminar. Well, I had to go to the seminar, but I was really interested in their selling techniques. Anyway, I had like Australia's #1 selling dude, Frank. He was a lovely guy, and he went through the spiel. He did the whole NLP on me. He's like talking about my kids going. He was just like, you know, selling the dream to me about buying a timeshare somewhere, I can't remember. And I said to him, Frank, you are awesome. I have loved listening to you. I can see you're a great salesman, but it's a firm no. And then he tried to go again. He had another crack. And I'm like, Frank, I'm a single mum. I've got 2 children to feed. It's a firm no. And he was like, full respect. I appreciate it. Off you go. Anyway, so that night I went to Coco at Crown by myself and had dinner around the hot plate, and there was a family on my right, and it was, I think they were a Vietnamese family, and they were meeting their daughter's new boyfriend for the first time.
Okay.
So I was involved in them in that whole thing. And then on my other left-hand side, there was another family from Melbourne, and their daughter was doing a marketing degree, so we were chatting about that. So I was amongst it. I was like getting busy with everyone. It was so fun.
You are so good like that, though. You really do talk to people, whereas I don't want to talk to anyone.
But you do, Mason, because you're a people person.
I do.
You really are.
You are so good with that, though. You are so good. I love that. You're getting amongst it. So, yeah, well done you.
Well, thanks, mate. But I love watching your solo reels. So follow Lisk_official if you want to see Maso's shenanigans on her solo dating. It's so fun. It's really fun.
It is fun. It's great to create content, and hopefully it inspires others, because I saw it on somebody else's wall, and initially I was like, oh, it's a bit cheesy, but then I'm like, it's actually my brain now. I can't get that out. I'm doing this. So hopefully it'll, because otherwise, Breeza, I'm going to be sitting around waiting for Prince Charming to walk through. Like, Ty's not coming back to take me on these dates.
And that's what you said. Yeah, you said, like, because you're just sitting around, you're like, you've got to create this fun for yourself. So yeah, it's very inspirational, mate. So bloody good on you.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. I did isolate myself for a while, but I'm back.
You're back, mate. It's all guns blazing.
Yeah, look out.
Hey, so season 2, we've got some new segments, haven't we, Maso?
Oh my God.
First one is coming up. Should we get into it?
We should. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Confession session. It's time to play. Where you tell us what you're ashamed to say. Confession session. It's time to play.
We swapped out from shame story to confession session because we thought shame was carrying a bit much shame, wasn't it?
We
felt
did.
Like with our guests,
Yeah.
they were like, oh, it's not really shameful. They're funny. It can be anything you want.
It can be
you don't want
embarrassing.
people to feel shame about what they've done either.
Well,
so.
I think confession session gives you permission, gives everyone, even ourselves, Maso, to give us permission to tell any story. It could be a story that you're not proud of. It could be a story that you're embarrassed about. It could be a story that you're shameful of. Like there's so much emotion that comes with drinking stories and things that you've done when you've been sozzled. So, yeah, confession session. I love it. And thanks to Eric, our amazing producer. He does all these jingles, peeps.
He's so clever. He's an absolute
so
genius. How funny was our sesh to hash it out? We go, we've got this idea, and you just go, and he goes, got it. Bang, off he goes, runs with it.
Next day, jingles in the inbox.
Genius. Thanks, Eric.
All right, who wants to go first for season 2, Maso?
You go.
I can't believe I haven't actually pulled this one out before because it's a baddie.
Oh.
It's a baddie and it hasn't been I actually told my partner this morning, he goes, I didn't know that. And I go, well, no one knows. No one knew this story. I'm literally, this is a scoop, guys. So, yeah, I remember exactly the time, day, everything. So I was 30 and it was in December and I had all the girls over on a Friday night for Christmas drinks. Hot summer Friday night, giddy up. So I think there was about 7 of us there on my back deck, which was, quite a party area for a lot of years. And so, yeah, we partied. I think we were on the beers, most likely. And
beers, get on beers.
Yeah. We were ahead of the trend then. And so, yeah, the night escalated as it does. And then we saw the sun rise. And, we're being silly and mucking around. We're having a wow of a time. And then the sun rose the next day. And, I reckon, so there's about 4 of us left at that point. So a few had peeled off. So the four stayers, and you know who they all are too, mate. So, and it was like mid-morning and we started getting a bit twitchy. We're like, the sun's come up. We don't want the party to end. What are we going to do? So my friend had a phone call, or she rang her mum. I don't know which way it went, but her mum happened to be having lunch at the pub down the road. So we're like, giddy up, get your shoes on, girls. We're going to the pub. So it was probably it's about I could say 500 metres to a kilometre walk. So on quite a busy road. So we would have looked like trash bags at this point. We were, 18 hours into a sesh. Not great. And we probably thought we looked fine. Imagine our breaths though at this point. Imagine our stinky breaths. Hadn't showered, probably just slapped a face washer on our face, touched up the makeup, off we toodled. So we got to the pub and because I was I remember everything in the morning. Once we got to the pub, blackout. I was gone. I have vivid memories of seeing her mum in the bar having a counter meal, but all the rest was a blur. And people there having their Saturday lunch. And we were just train wrecks. So we get home. So we walk home. We only lasted there I think we were too blind. We were literally too blind. And the publican was like, yeah, peel off, girls. So walked home. And then the girls, they must have got picked up. So this is Saturday afternoon at this point. And then went to bed, woke up Sunday morning in a pool of wee.
Oh, no.
All over a very expensive doona. Weed.
A Des coffee.
Des. Linen lovers. Copped a pounding. And so I woke up just going, what the fuck? Like I was 30 years old at this, the grown adult, pissed the bed. I don't think I'd ever done that before. So anyway, so on the Sunday, so I must have woken up, when did I wake up on the Sunday morning? So that whole weekend I was supposed to do Christmas shopping, didn't happen. I remember lying on the couch on the Sunday just in a massive ball of self-loathing. Like there was I was just wanting the day to end so it could be Monday so I could start feeling better about myself. I was just hating life. My heart was racing. It was just, there's nothing I could do to escape what I was feeling. And then to make matters worse, I went and got the doona dry cleaned. I don't know how much that costs. Who knows? Again, more money down the drain. And I picked it up and they got the smell and stuff, but the stain they couldn't get out.
Oh.
So there's this like big yellow. It was massive. This like big yellow patch on the doona, and they're like going, it's all out, but there's still the stain there, but it's definitely all out. And it's like, great.
Oh,
yeah, it was a bad way to end a really fun night.
Oh, Breeza, I feel for you. And I know that's a hard one to share. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure there's been lots of people going, yep, me too here. Oh,
but again, it's that whole thing, you don't want the party to end.
Yep, don't want the party to end, push it to its limit. In fact, part of the conversation today that I had written up, or I was thinking about the other day, how we lose control of our bodily functions when we're wasted. We're not doing that sober. Like, this is what alcohol does to us. This is another highlight. This wouldn't have happened if we weren't hammered. Like, think about that. Like, our brains are that
mush
flooded in poison. Piss in the bed
and slept through it. I slept through it because I fully slept through it. Like, it was sort of, you can tell I'd been lying in it for quite some time.
It was cold.
It was cold.
Oh, babe. Oh, babe. I'm so sorry. I really feel your pain here. And also the thing about, I wanted to hurry up for Monday so I'd start feeling better about myself. Like, oh.
You know what you know. You're picking up what I'm putting down, don't you?
I do. It took me back to, like, so many situations where I'm just like, oh, make it go away. And not only that, and you've got a hangover on top of that shame.
Yeah. And then you eat shit and you just feel like shit and you don't get nothing done.
Tell me again what's good about alcohol. Fucking nothing.
I'll get back to you never.
Jesus. Thanks for sharing, mate.
Anyway, handball over to you, Maso.
Yeah, it's a hard one. So I actually messaged a friend the other day. We're in the UK at the Walkabout, one of the walkies. For those listeners who don't know, Walkabout is pubs that are set up all around the UK. Walkabout being Aussie pubs, so they're Aussie themed. All the Aussies congregate there. You're meant to go over to the UK, make friends with other people, but all the Aussies just sort of congregate the same. Yeah. Anyway, we're at the Walkabout, and my friend, he's quite buff, loves the workout. I'm just going to – I messaged him the other day. I said, can you please remind me of this story, because I want to try and get it right. I'm just going to read it if that's all right, so I don't absolutely butcher it. Just so stupid, so stupid.
Do I know your friend?
No.
Without saying his name? No. Rando.
No. Anyway, he says, in all seriousness, I think I was just hanging onto the roof beam and smashing out a chest of bar chin-ups in quick succession. And an Islander mate, an old Islander mate wasn't impressed. I finished doing roughly about 50-odd chin-ups. Then he mouthed off. I mouthed off back. He jabbed me in the mouth. I went to go at him, and then you jumped on his mate's back.
Straight to the mate.
I thought it was a bouncer trying to kick him out. So I've jumped on this bloke's back to try and, like, get in between it and try and, like, peacekeep or try and intervene or diffuse the situation or say, don't hit him, I'll sort it out. Jumped on this big bloke's back.
I've got a visual.
He was a monkey, as he's like, as everyone's pouring out, you know, being sort of kicked out at the same time. Put my body on the line to try and help me mate, who was being, like, full peacock in the middle of a pub doing chin-ups. And I've jumped on someone's back to try and...
Did he flick you off? This big unit?
Like, just like, I got a bit of a ride for a bit out the door. And then I think it was on a bit outside, you know, mouthing each other and carrying on.
So you got kicked out?
Yeah, who am I to try and get in between these islanders? Like,
loyal friend.
Guys.
Loyal friend.
Chick, just wasted, right off my head. Would have been, like, just right off. So.
Oh, mate. And again, you would have done that if you weren't hammered.
I would have, like, taken a step right back.
Yes.
Who's getting involved?
Especially as a female, Maso.
Yeah. Jumped on his back like a pony ride, like a piggyback.
Went for a little piggyback.
We were absolute menaces in the UK. This guy and the crew that we were with, absolute pests, ran a real muck. So, yeah, remember how I said you asked me why I left the UK? This is why. Like, we couldn't keep that up forever. No. We would have liked to have, but we would never have been the same again. So, yeah.
Well, someone would have died.
Correct.
Ultimately.
Absolutely. Undoubtedly. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, mate, it's funny, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like,
I couldn't be.
only because I know you and I've got a visual of you, like just catapulting across the room and landing on old mate's back like Spider-Woman.
Yes. No fear. Absolutely no fear.
Yeah. And I'm sure you would have giggled about it the next day, but upon reflection,
just
you're like, dumb.
Who does that? Like, can you imagine seeing that in a bar? Like,
it's like a movie scene, really, isn't it? But
start show.
Yeah, like careless and reckless.
No, not thinking about the consequences. He could have easily just,
he could have given you
launched me. Yeah,
totally.
Launched me. He might not have known I was a chick, regardless.
Yeah, or just thrown you on the floor.
Yeah, and then like
kicked you,
body slam me,
sling the chair, thrown a chair on you. Mate, so I'm glad you survived to tell that tale. What do we say? It wouldn't have happened if we weren't hammered. Oh, well, here we are, mate. So season 2. How good.
How good. I know. Look at us ploughing through it.
We've got a lot to say, haven't we?
No end to the conversation. We love
no
it.
end, no.
Yep.
So, yeah, how are you? How is your sobriety journey? Tell me where you're at. What are we doing in season 2? Talk to me.
Well, I was actually going to ask you the same question. Going back on your 1 year and have a look at booze-free bans and at I Flaunt AF Drinks, your 1 year reel, which is an absolute belter, Breezer.
Oh, yes.
Can you talk us through the caption?
What did I write?
I really put that on you. It was such an amazing reel, and the music and the fun. And tell us what your kids said as well.
Well, I'll share what my kids said. So for those of you who are unsure what we're bantering on about here, so on my I Flaunt AF Drinks, I did a little reel about my first year of sobriety.
So moving, got me all teary.
Oh, mate, it was pretty emotional actually watching it and creating it, because looking back at that 12 months, I'm like, I did so much in that 12 months and it was all wholesome, fun activities.
Yes.
And my kids asked me, so I showed them the reel, and my kids said to me, my son said to me, Mum, did you have more fun last year? And I was like, oh, mate, you've just really hit me in the heart there. So I said, well, yeah, mate, I did. I had different fun and I remember it all. And I got to spend more wholesome time, or quality time with the kids. But getting back to the caption, do you want me to read it out?
Yeah,
Maso?
I do.
Clicked on the bloody wrong reel. Here it is. Here we go. Okay. I got so much love on that post too. It's so nice.
Yeah.
And, oh, my God, my auntie sent me a beautiful Maggie beer hamper in the mail.
Oh, my God.
This week, like a few weeks ago, I got it to say congratulations on your 1 year alcohol-free.
That's amazing, Breeza. Congratulations.
No, I was like, it makes you look back and go, actually, it's a big
deal.
A big deal. Yeah.
It's a massive deal.
So I wrote, today marks 12 months since I gave booze a flick. So 12 months without booze. What does that look like? Here is my warts and all version of it. Firstly, I can't believe I've gone without booze for 12 months when it was so present in my life. Alcohol was just part of it. I still can't believe it too, by the way. For the first time in my life, I know the true meaning of clarity. I have discovered that I don't need booze to have fun or to relax. When people get tipsy, as in that sweet spot that lasts a few hours, they do add spice to a party and lift people up, and I like that. I can happily dance sober. I love that I can peel off at any point at a social event. I'm way more present, playful and patient with my kids. They still drive me crazy, but I do want to hang out with them more. My life is still a shit show at times, but I feel more equipped to handle situations. I have accepted that life is a big, beautiful mess. Alcohol-free drinks and the IG sober community have been so helpful. In fact, the AF drinks are the number one reason I haven't gone back to drinking booze, and I stand by that statement 110%. Sobriety is like a roller coaster, so strap yourself in. Emotions are hard, but I'm so proud that I can sit in them without numbing them with booze like I used to. Crying helps. I've been running my bizzo for 8 years. The past 12 months have been the most successful year to date. And in brackets, I had booze-related or not, NFI. I started a podcast with Maso called Booze Free Bants. Personally, I've achieved goals that I set for myself. Geez, it goes on for a bit. Sorry, Pete. Everything you see in this reel could have all happened if I was drinking. The difference is I remember it all. I wasn't hung and I tried new things. How good is trying new things?
Yeah.
12 months up booze, don't knock it till you try it. And I actually had a So thanks for bringing that up.
Brilliant. Yes,
Thank you.
I loved it because
Thanks
it was
so much.
moving. Like I've got goosebumps now.
Oh.
I'm so proud of you and everyone having a crack at sobriety. And that right there is just the perfect package. Go and watch that really. So moving, up and about and joyous. It's amazing.
Yeah, I did. I
So
looked back and I
inspiring.
went, this is my life. Like that's so cool that I've created that. Those opportunities as well. But I was having a coffee with a guy from Bendigo the other day, and he's quite a social guy, loves races, big drinker when he's out socially. And he said to me, that's amazing what you've done, Breeza. He said that I couldn't do that. He said, that's so good what you've done. So I think the conversation's starting to change. Instead of people going, why are you doing that? Or why are you drinking? It's a really positive shift. Do you find that too, Maso?
Totally. And I think, like I've kept saying, my favourite quote at the moment, if sobriety was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's true.
That's so true, Maso.
It's true. Like it's, so many people are in awe, or they'll say, oh, I can't believe you're doing that, or how do you do that? I couldn't do that. Which is a big one, whereas you actually can. But isn't that interesting how people think they can't?
100%. But going back to alcohol-free drinks, like, as I said, they're my number one reason. I have no doubt that if mineral water or bubbly water was the only option, I'd be back on it.
Yeah, right.
I just love that we can still do the ceremonies, we can still do the rituals, we can still be inclusive.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt that when my kids are older, at legal age of drinking, 18, that it'll be so normal to order an alcohol-free beer at a bar. Like that's how I feel. That's what I feel we're moving towards.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more. Katie Minogue. Hi, Katie.
Katie.
We just listened to a voice she sent before talking about with Al Catalaris episode. She's had 10 years of drinking from the ripe old age of 14 to 24. Whereas when we were 24, there was no such thing as sober curious. It's cool to be sober now. Like it's cool to look after your health. Whereas that wasn't around when we were 24. We were just getting hammered and there was no other option. So I think this is a movement and it is here to stay. It's like removing smoke. You remember when we used to dart in planes, pubs? Yeah. And now it's so... it stinks and it's disgusting and it's on the outer. Do you know what I mean? And I think not saying the same thing about booze, but it is so okay and socially acceptable not to drink now. And I couldn't agree with you more about the AF drinks. It does, to be able to rock around, and I'm smuggling Altina everywhere. It's perfect to put in. I should have bought my little bag, but I've got a little bag.
I've got my little bag. It fits in this little bag, little tote bag.
Perfect, same. I pop 2 in there and off I go. If I can fit a third, I'll take a third for a friend. We're smuggling alcohol-free drinks into venues.
Can I share a little smuggle story?
Do.
2 actually, but the quick first one is I went to a pub in Bendigo on the week this week, and I know they don't have any alcohol-free drinks except for like maybe one mainstream beer. So I stuck in my Altina, Sanskrit, and I said, like, I sat down there, like, they took their drink waters. Like, I just want a wine glass just to drink the water in because they had water on the table. Anyway, it brings the wine glass out, pour the Altina in, loved it. And then the publican who I know actually came into the pub later that night, and I was chatting away to her, and I'm like, such and such, I snuck a AF drink in tonight. And she's like, did you? And I'm like, yeah, have a taste. And she tasted it. She's like, oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
So I'm all for the smuggle. And I am trying to work out how to smuggle a heaps normal beer into the MCG.
Oh, okay. You're going to have to take it in a bottle.
Is that right?
Yeah, because when I went to the MCG the other day, I took my Altinas to have. Yeah, and I couldn't. They said you have to pour it in water bottle. So I emptied my water bottle and then poured.
How come?
You can't take glass or cans because they're a weapon.
Oh, because of the can,
yeah,
right?
So pour your beer into a plastic water bottle, and
like a drink bottle.
Yeah,
that you can't see. This is because it can't be a white, because it'll look like beer if I have it in a Mount Franklin bottle.
Your creamy soda.
Oh yeah.
They're not gonna ask what it is, or you can pull the whole diet. It's my dietary requirement. They're not gonna check it. They're not gonna ask what's in it, because I pulled that one out. I said I can't not have these. I can't drink anything here.
Well, I was going to load the kids up. I was going to put a few cans in their jackets because they don't get frisked. Like they can just walk in,
strap them on.
Yes. Puff it, jacket over the top.
Full Chappelle Corby.
Yes.
Terrible, sorry.
Um,
Oh, God.
so-
yeah. Plastic bottle.
Plastic bottle. Okay.
Look, this is what is so crazy about this. Is what I'm saying. It is such madness and a complete contradiction. We are smuggling non-alcoholic drinks into venues when there was a time that we used to smuggle booze into venues.
Absolutely. Vodka, bottle of vodka into a pub.
I was talking to one of my good friends the other day, you know who I'm talking about. She talked about in the UK, they always used to rock around into pubs with their bottle of vodka and then just order, you know, pineapple juice or whatever mixer to load up because it was so expensive. And, you know, so yeah, madness. So yeah, they've been such a bloody game changer though, to be able to go out. I did the same thing when I went to dinner. We have a little group called First Wednesday of every month we catch up. And I take my little Altina and I ordered the glass. And because everyone's drinking red wine, I did the same thing, but I felt so naughty. I think I told this story the other day, didn't I? I think I did in the last step. To pour the Sangria, it's a great looks like red wine.
Yeah.
Part of it all, but I did feel naughty. I was like, oh,
I know, because you
waitress, where's the waitress?
Yeah, I was the same. I have my back. I strategically sat down with my back to the waitresses, and then I was in the corner, so I just did a stako on the side, close to the wall, and then crushed the can and put it back in my bag.
Same. But I think that's, I know we keep banging on about it. And if you're new around here and listen to the first episode you're listening, do call the restaurant for it first. Ask if you can bring by BYO. Even if they say no, still take it and ask to talk to the manager, because whoever you're talking to over the phone might be just a booking or they don't know. They're not speaking
casual
the same
staff.
language, and it's a good opportunity to educate them.
Absolutely. One of our listeners and friends, you know who I'm talking about, Maso, she snuggled. What I can say, snuggled.
You want to snuggle? Oh, snuggie.
Oh, heck, she smuggled bubbles, AF bubbles, into Qantas Lounge.
Yes. That was
because that is another massive ritual. Like I was a stickler.
Yes.
Champagne, doesn't matter what time of day is, airport has to have a mandatory glass of champagne.
Yes.
So that's a huge ritual to replace.
Yes, I didn't even think about that. I love that. She fully had it in the jars, in a plastic, in the Ziploc bag, the whole thing, so it would get through.
It was a massive operation.
Yeah, but I'm here for it. I'm doing that now. That was gold. Thank you, babe. We love you. So good.
So I have drinks. Yep. Game changer. And you know what? There's so many there's so many hitting the market too, May. So I can't keep up. Like there's just it's such an exciting space. Yeah. Actually, I read do you follow Scott Pape? He's not on social media, but he does his little monthly or weekly newsletter. He's like a finance dude. He's actually from Bendigo, little fun fact. So Scott Pape announced in one of his newsletters recently that he had gone 12 months without booze. And he spoke about going to a festival and he had to order like 3 red wines and an alcohol-free red, I think he was ordering. And he got the drinks. He had a drink of his and he was like, oh, my God, this is the best alcohol-free wine I've ever tasted. And he said to the bar guy, and the bar guy was like, oh, shit, sorry, mate, I'll give you the wrong drink. He actually gave him a Shiraz.
No. Fail.
But that there's still a gap there, but it still excites me to think who is going to break through with the magical recipe of an alcohol-free Shiraz that tastes like a Heathcote Shiraz.
Yeah. I know. That's the barefoot investor you're talking about.
Yeah. Scott Pape,
yeah. Oh, how good. They're coming up, like even 4 Pillars are busting out a non-alcoholic gin as well.
When's that launching? Has it launched?
I think it will be by now. I think it was actually, in fact, I think it's today, June 22nd.
Bullshit.
Or yesterday, I think it launched. I know it was end of June. But yeah, 4 Pillars. And you know who else got on board is Better Beer. Better Beer's bought out of Zero. Yes.
I know. I can't actually. This week was like my mission to go and buy some, and I've forgotten every day.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to hear to taste like that. To taste
what else? Do you know what else I noticed at the footy? And you noticed this at Foo Fighters. Went to go to the toilet. The line was that long. You've nearly had to line up after. Before half time, and you would have come back after 3/4 time.
Oh, no.
And you know what? I just went, fuck this. Sorry, I'm a bit sweary today. I just went, you know what? I'm just going to back off the fluids. I don't need to go. I'm not going to sit there and miss out the entire game lining up for the toilet. And, oh, my God, I was secretly so smug when we all piled out, like everyone's, piling out of the MCG, just messy, drunk, loose, stinky, wobbly, just shouting at each other. You can tell they can't see where they're going. You can tell they can't find their friends. I'm just like, I just skipped away. And that's not me.
Breeze through the crowd.
Yes, yes. Hey, have we talked about the Good Food and Wine gig?
No. I don't know, have we?
Did we talk about it on the other app? I'll tell you what I noticed after that, though.
Yeah, oh, yes. You share your story and I'll share my story. Go.
Well, we both went, and thank you so much to Naked Life. They gave us tickets to go, which was amazing. And we saw all our alcohol-free crew, everyone, and friends were there. It was so amazing. But the thing that noticing, geez, I'm glad that's not me anymore. I was in the bathroom and I could hear this absolute carry-on, like just shouting, like screaming at the top of their lungs, like it was like these banshees on the outside of the toilets. Like, really? That would have been me. That would have definitely been me. Then watching just people walk, like wobbly walk, like I can't even walk in a straight line. And then when we were outside crossing the road at the traffic lights, two ladies, because you can buy the shopping trolley, so you can go around for $40. Game
so
changer.
good.
Yeah.
Massive.
So they're walking along with their trolley that they've got all their food and wine in, just randomly standing there. One falls over. Like, how are you standing up straight and then you just fall over? And then fall over, the shopping trolley's all over the floor, all the food falls out, cars are coming. Like, it's just a whole situation. This is what I mean. Your brain is pickled with booze and you're just standing there and fall over for no reason. Like,
I saw some hilarious sights. I went on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And because that was pack-up day, a lot of the vendors were just giving away their booze and just,
how good.
Yeah, just take it. And there was these two girls, they were hilarious, and they had the trolley. I bought the trolley as well, so good. So they had their trolley, and it was like bursting at the seams with drinks that they purchased, and they were cackling, and they were just like, wobbly all over the shop, but they were having the best time. And I was like, oh, Monday hangover, not a vibe. Yeah. And as we were leaving, actually we saw quite a few celebrities there on the Sunday.
Yeah.
As we were leaving, we saw Liam Picken and Uncanny Annie with their kidlets. Yeah. And they'd been to the cat show because the cat show was on as well. And so I was sparked up a conversation. She had this beautiful pink jacket on. I was like, oh my God, what a vibe. So I was chatting away to her, chatting away to the kids. And I was like, imagine if I was sozzled, what I would have been like.
You would have got her in a headlock.
Like, give me a jacket. Can I try a jacket on? Like, would have got real up in their grills.
Yeah.
But instead we had a really nice conversation in the lift.
Yeah, love that.
Thank God I'm not drunk right now.
Oh, the things you see now, like observing, it's pretty funny. Oh, but it is secretly smug, isn't it?
It is. Actually, I caught myself a few weeks ago. There was a big community ball in Bendigo, amazing event, 900 people, unreal, and it's for the Cancer Wellness Centre at Bendigo Health. And so I was offered tickets through work and stuff. And I had loosely planned to take the kids down to the footy at the G. So I was like, and I wanted to go to the ball for sort of to see a lot of people and networking, that sort of thing. But I was like, no way, I actually want to hang out with the kids and have a really good day in Melbourne instead. Yeah. And I caught myself going, imagine if I was still drinking, I'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, we're going to the ball. Like, And it made me think I would have let the kids down, and I would have jeopardised a day out in Melbourne, fun day with them, for 5 hours of getting hammered and waking up with shame and regret the next day.
Yes, there it is.
There it is. Yeah, I was like, I was really proud of myself of that self-reflection, going, I would have chosen the boozy night over time with the kids. 100% every day of the week I would have done that. But now the scales have changed. I'm doing the hand movement here, mate, so probably not good for our listeners. The scales have tipped. I don't know. Anyway, but so now I'm choosing the kids and activities with them over drinking.
And the drinking was a given. Like, it wasn't even a choice.
Shit,
it was just like, that was just what was happening. Like brushing your teeth, having a shower, getting on the booze was just part of it, and it wouldn't even be questioned.
Yep.
And what an extraordinary, like, I feel like we've got a second chance life.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah, because, like trying new things, like you're doing the solo dating. You're trying new things. Yeah. Would you do that when you were still drinking? Like, how did that look like?
No, God, no. I would have been quite happy sitting here. Well, I've gone out on my, not gone out on my own, but if I would just be boozed up.
Yeah.
No, actually, like I said, the only time I really think was when I was in Broome or when I was flying, like when I was working for Etihad and, going to different cities, I was still on a mission to go to a bar and get smashed.
And do you think you'd be looking for opportunities to go out and get smashed?
That was all I was doing. I wasn't actually going to see things and do sort of, but booze was a...
But do you think now if you're drinking, you'd be looking just for opportunities to go out and drink as opposed to doing new things?
New things, yeah, new, fresh, wholesome things that we know. Like it's just completely different. It's not a haze of booze and then the shame.
The shame. I'm so glad I don't get that anymore. That's something I will never miss.
Same.
The shame and the regret and the wondering, what did I say? Like that's another shame story I thought of last week. I'll have to bring that one up to the surface as well. Just that regret of going, what did I do? Who did I speak to?
Yeah, I'm having a really hard time at the moment, particularly after talking to one thing that's been quite prevalent when we've spoken to our guests, when we ask the highs and lows of their drinking, and they talk about the lows, they reflect upon who they were when they were drinking and how confronting their drinking was. And I've been doing that too. And I never want to regret anything because that's just shit. So you can't really carry a heap of regret. But I realised how much my drinking was so destructive to me and relationships and destroyed relationships. And I'm so shameful about Ty's kids, how much alcohol I had around them. I can't even speak about it. I can't even talk about it properly or articulately because I feel so shit about it. And I wish I didn't do that. And I wish I could have had a second go at it to be able to be who I am now.
Yeah.
Elle spoke about that in her episode with Frenchie as well, like that
3-month
period where she was sober and it was really amazing. And I feel the same. I hate it. I hate that. I wish I could. Yeah, I really wish that I could do that now. And I can't. And I fucked it with booze.
That's
and it was
a lot to blame, to put on yourself, mate. So
well, no, you've got to. I'm not taking full blame, but I know that it was a massive contributive factor. And, Ty had I used to address his drinking, but he would say, you address mine. And I didn't fucking have a problem with it. I didn't have a problem with alcohol. Turns out I did.
But do you think then, Maso, the learnings like that you're going through now, that is going to set yourself up for the next relationship, if and when that comes?
Yeah. And it's hard to think about that because, heart's
of course
still
it is.
With Ty, but I thought it was interesting. Katie was talking about it the other as well. Really name dropping Katie. She doesn't mind.
She loves it.
But it has been interesting. Olivia said the same thing. Al said the same thing. Fighting. You pick fights for no reason. Like you're having fights because you lose all emotional inhibitions.
Yeah.
And you just lose your shit and fight with your partner.
And even you just reminded me of a story when I was a teenager having a massive blue with a girlfriend.
Oh,
massive blue, blind, and just having a full scream fest.
Scrag.
Yeah, like full blind Betties and just going off tap at each other.
Are you mates now?
Yeah, we're still mates. And we were in high school, so I remember the next day on the Monday at school, like both very sheepish because there was we weren't on the mobile phones or Snapchat. But I obviously didn't pick up the telephone at mum and dad's house to call her on the Sunday, but we saw each other on the Monday and it was all fine. But I would have, and I don't remember how I was feeling on the Sunday, but I would have had to sit with that shame and grief of knowing that I had a big blow up with a friend because we were both hammered.
We're just hammered and you just ticked each other off because everything's heightened and you just have no control. It's just shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I've actually got, again, this is the past me talking, but I've got a winery tour coming up.
Oh, yes, you said that.
For end of financial year. So we're doing, I think, 4 wineries on a bus. And one of the girls is pregnant, so we'll be buddies together. And I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be a good catch up with work crew. But one of the wineries that we're going to, the last time I was there, things went really sideways at that winery, like really sideways. And that was only our second winery for the day, I think. So, I will be looking at it through a different lens. But But you know what? So we're doing the wineries. We're doing 4 wineries, going back to Bendigo and having dinner somewhere. My son's got basketball at 7 o'clock. So I'm like, you ripper. I can leave dinner, watch him play basketball, and depending on my mood, I'll go back. Depending on the vibe of the night, I'll go back. Whereas again, like massive epiphany here.
Yeah.
Like, if I hadn't been drinking, I was not going near that basketball stadium.
No way. You're right off it. Look at you. Yes.
It's the best of both worlds.
Yes, you get to do all the things.
Yes.
You're not written off. Like you think about you writing the whole week off because it's just all around booze. And I was talking to a friend the other day about, even going to Graceland, going to these experiences, plonking yourself in a pub or getting too carried away wherever you are, just drinking. You just become a blob. You're not getting
lump.
A drunken lump that you don't want to actually get off your ass and go and explore things because you're too drunk. You've got to get a cab. Like it's just all too hard. It's easy to just sit here and just swill piss and stay in the pub and not actually get amongst it.
Get out and explore.
And you get to do all the things. You get to drive home fresh as remembering everything and just so wholesomely full of love, heartful. Yes, us. Woo!
And can I say, I love your jacket, Maso.
You like my jacket?
Yes. It's a shacket, is it?
It's a shacket. Cotton on. I'm going to show you for those watching on YouTube.
Do you know what? I heard this shacket. I've got a shacket as well. I love it. I love it.
Cotton on. Only about
it's really
$70.
nice.
It's a cracker, isn't it?
Bang.
I look
it's a ripper.
beige. It's a whole beige situation going on in this room, isn't there?
The shacket. So I was in a shop the other day and my friend was buying a shacket and she was calling it jerk.
What?
Like a jerk.
Oh, jerk.
Jacket, shirt. So she was calling it a shirt. And the shop lady's going, no, it's a shacket. She's like, oh, is it a jerk? Like it was the whole thing.
It's really hard to get them. I shopped everywhere trying to find, like in Melbourne at Southland, I've been really struggling to get them. They must be just sold out. They're
everywhere in Bendigo, FYI, as we're recording this body. But I actually bought one in Hepburn Springs.
Oh, no way.
Like literally in the general store where they do like breakfast. Yeah, they do breakfast. They do lunch. They do morning and afternoon tea.
Jackets.
They've got homewear. They've got shackets. They've got takeaway food. It's the whole thing. Go to there, Hepburn Springs.
Look out.
You got to dig deep, peeps.
Thank you.
So can we talk about? Actually, I have still been fantasizing about booze, mate. So
have you?
But do you know what? It's getting less and less. It's the wineries that I'm. The wineries that I'm really, and especially because it's winter, like that red wine that I used to love.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm fantasizing about.
Interesting, yes.
But I know that as soon as I play that tape forward, bang, I'm back in the present moment.
How long does that thought come in and then it gets stopped?
Yep. Stop sign goes up.
Yeah. I love that.
She's out the door.
Yeah.
Out the door. I was going to say, season 2, we're up and about, aren't we?
We really are. We really are. We've got so much going on.
We've got so many good guests lined up. It's been too long, mate, so I'm a little bit. Yeah, we've got some special guests coming on.
Yes. We just love you all listening.
We do, don't we? And we do have fun making this. Like we love our little weekly Gymwags.
Yeah, it's our therapy. And we love all the feedback and we love so much that it's just a little prop up for everyone. We've been getting tagged a lot in resources for people to lean towards, which is just just blows my tiny mind that we're part of that.
100%.
To be tagged, to be helpful. Love that.
Circling back to, thank you, everybody. Circling back to Katie.
Yes.
Minogue, she actually asked Mason a question today and she said, or she was pondering something. If we were in our 20s and the sober curious movement was a thing back then, so we're talking 20 years ago, say, would we have stopped drinking? And I voiced her back saying, no way in hell would I stop drinking. I mentioned that my whole honeymoon was planned around spring break in Cancun. And there, I just know within myself that I would have just balked at it. What about you, Maso? What was your response to that?
Way. No. Straight no. Fair no. I don't know. I can't imagine it then.
No.
But I'm secretly really, I don't know, I don't know, jealous, envious of Al and Olivia
I
that
am.
they're so young.
Yeah.
That they're doing it now, but I wouldn't change a thing what I've done.
Yeah, agree.
Wouldn't change a
100%.
thing. I've loved being loose and leery and out of control and
Yeah.
reckless and completely, but I do, they're just the blackout bits that I'm just like,
Oh, I know. One of my shame stories that I will be bringing up in future episodes is a massive blackout story.
oh,
It's awful.
oh
It's
no.
awful.
Mate, I wish I could tell you my blackout stories, but I don't remember them. I need to phone a friend. Can someone please tell me what I've been doing?
You do. But yeah, I think when I stopped drinking, I didn't know the word, what sober curious was. Like, I didn't know it was a thing anyway. So I suppose because we've been on this journey and we've found, people through Instagram and podcasts, we are fully aware of this sober curious movement. But prior to stopping drinking, I had no idea that it was even a thing. Literally,
No.
I think I've said before, I thought I was the only one in Australia who was going to stop drinking.
Mate,
Like, that's how naive I was.
Mate, I was exactly the same. When I gave up, 10 years ago, there was either the thought of removing alcohol from your life, it's not sexy,
No.
is it? Like, weirdo, why would you do that? Or what do you got? You're an alcoholic. Like, there's such a stigma. And when we're changing that now, and we sit very comfortably in that sobriety space, but it's still pinned on that. Like, we got a message the other day from a friend thinking that they either needed to, check in as an inpatient or that they didn't know there's options in between, which is what we're creating here and what the whole sober curious, sober community is. So I was the same. I was like, I've got to check into AA. That's it. It's really hard.
Did you think that, Maso? Did you?
Yeah,
have thought?
I did. Well,
right.
I've thought that for a long time. I had thought that for a long time, but I wasn't an alcoholic. I just
you know that in between sort of resources.
Yeah.
And AA is fantastic, but it's not a fit for everyone. Even Drew Charles spoke about that.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, exactly. So it's extraordinary, and I think it's just I just love so much what we're doing to give people to say it's okay, you're not alone.
Yeah.
It's this addictive, poisonous substance. It's as addictive as heroin and sugar, but marketed to us like lollies.
Yeah, and good times.
And then
glamorized.
Glamorized, exactly. And then we get a hook in and find ourselves we can't get through a day without it. And then we're like, fuck, I really want to remove this. And you can't because like bloody Danny Green said, and he nailed it right in the head, his gym's got closed down. The one thing that keeps you healthy and well and your mental health well, but let's keep the bottle shops open.
And do you know what, Maso? I never thought about that the whole time until he pointed it out. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so true.
Yeah. Yep. It's bullshit. It is absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
And you walk past BWS to go to the supermarket on your way to get your bananas. It's unbloody avoidable. It's there and it's put in our lives because obviously the government gets massive kickback, so why would they want to remove it?
Yeah.
It's such a bloody contradiction. It's just this whole
vicious cycle, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is. It really is. Anyway, we're doing our bit.
We're doing our bit. Well, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
Should we roll into our new segment?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's a phone fucking with the PH. Scream, give it F with the call or text. Phone fucking with the PH. Give it a ring.
I thought we call it a phone fuck up with a PH because it's less offensive.
Yeah, we've softened it a little bit. We have softened it a little bit. Now I'm going to pull one from, hang on a minute, because we had one from my follower. This is a cracker. I actually love this one. Okay. So he says, I put my phone in my mouth to carry more drinks and went crunch into the screen protector.
Oh,
Which, like, I can totally see that happening, can't you?
Yeah.
Like the things you sacrifice.
Yes, such a good idea though.
And I actually wrote back to him saying, oh my God, so funny but so bad. And he said, I can still feel the glass shattering in my mouth.
No. But he wouldn't have spilled a drop.
He wouldn't, that's it. He would have come back like a hero with, 5 drinks in tow.
Oh, no.
So thank you to our follower
thank you so
/ listener for sending that in. It did make me giggle. And again, just highlighted that the things you sacrifice over booze, you prioritise booze.
Yeah, exactly. So send in your phone fuck-ups, DM us, tell us your phone fuck-ups that you've done with your phone.
Yeah, and we did change the name Phone Fuck Up from Text Regret because we thought there's so many things that can go wrong with a phone when you're sozzled outside of a text. Like obviously we do, send texts to the exes, seems to be the theme. But there's, phone calls, social media, breaking, losing, all that with your phone. So
dropping your phone in the toilet.
Dropping down the dunny.
All the things. Yeah.
So we're looking forward to this segment for season 2.
Send them in.
It's time for the recommendation of the week.
What you got, Breeza?
Well, I've actually got a potty, Maso.
Oh.
I am, oh my God, and I know you're obsessed with this potty, the Imperfects.
Yes.
So
much.
good. I don't know if we've recommended it before. We probably have, but
We can
a specific episode, which I want you all to tune in, is the chat with Harry Garside.
Oh,
I've seriously listened to it 3 times, and I also had it on in the car when the kids and I were going up to Echuca, so they were tuning in as well.
love it. Well played. Smart.
Yeah, you like that?
Inserted that.
Just the whole episode, even the start of it, who shares a story, which is absolutely, have you listened to it, Mason?
Yeah.
The story he shares at the start.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was nearly wetting my pants. It's so funny. But this episode is pure gold.
Yeah.
And we are now obsessed with Harry Garside after this, aren't we, Mason?
We are. Come on, Harry. We'd love to get you on.
Yeah, Harry, come on the potty. So, we're massive fans of him and just think that he's a bloody gem.
Yeah, we really do. And everything the Imperfects is doing, Hugh Van Clydenberg, Ryan Shelton and Josh Van Clydenberg. I butcher their names. Do you say Clydenberg? Kylenberg. I think it's Kylenberg.
Van Clydenberg. Yeah, probably butcher as well. I've actually sent that episode to probably 5 people too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so good.
So good.
Oh,
but yeah, great. The whole potty, amazing, isn't it?
Love that.
Now, if you've got a product, Maso, you've got a product today.
Well, actually, the shacket, the shacket. I've mixed it up today. I don't watch a lot of TV. I very rarely do I flick on the TV. It's got to be, it is a good opportunity for me to tune right out and dumb out, but it's something's got to be really good for me to really get in. I did love Ozarks. I loved Ozarks.
I've got 3 episodes to go.
Oh, so good. Ruth.
I know.
Ruth,
I've got such a soft spot for Ruth. Like, she's my favourite character.
Isn't she brilliant? Jennifer Is it Jennifer Garner? Hang on.
So not Jennifer Garner.
Her last name's Garner.
Is it?
Yeah. I'll get back to you on her first name while we're talking. What was my... Oh, yes. So I jumped on Netflix the other day, and by the time this episode drops, they will have The Man from Snowy River 1 and 2 up. And I was like, oh, my God. And then I thought, like favourite movies. Dun, 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 da, 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 da.
Love that.
Gordon, Tom Burlinson. I've had Tom Burlinson on my flight, actually. I should post that photo. And died, absolutely died, because I loved him in Far Lap, which is what I watched the other day. Oh, my God. Loved it. It was so nostalgic. It took me back to a moment. Obviously, I'm a horsey person as well. But, yeah, it was a real moment. Far Lap and The Man from Snowy River 1 and 2 on Netflix.
Brilliant. Because do you find, mate, so they come on then come off? Like you've got to strike while the iron's hot?
I wouldn't know because I don't watch it. I don't watch it enough. I didn't know that they go out.
So they don't know. Because I was asking someone at work about a movie and they're like, I don't think it's on Netflix anymore.
Oh.
So they don't, they recycle, like they rotate them.
Yeah, right.
So,
Julia Garner.
Julia Garner.
Is Ruth.
She is, got 1.3 million followers.
Yeah, she's a cracker. She drops some cool, fun content as well. She's
cool.
a ripper.
I'm going to follow her. Her character in Ozarks is just
forever
the best.
Yeah.
The best. I wonder if she drinks brews. Should we try and get on the potty?
Yeah, Ruth. She's so cool. What a gun.
So cool.
So cool. That's it.
See yous.
Welcome. Catch you. Bye.
Season 2. Yeah, so we're back next week. Don't know if we've got a guest on. I can't remember. Yes, we do. We've got Mel from It's Not Me, It's Booze on.
Yes, she will love this episode. Go and have it. Get all over her before it drops, actually.
Get all over her.
It's at It's Not Me, It's Booze.
Yeah, she was one of the inaugural, what do I call that?
OGs?
First people? OGs, yeah, OGs. She was one of the OGs that I followed when I first started my Insta account for Lifeline, which was called So Aussie Mum then. But yeah, she is great.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
we love it. We love
she's
her.
brilliant. Yeah, she's gold. Oh, Breeza. Eric,
So good.
listeners.
I know, we're back. We love you and we can't wait to, banter more.
Ride the waves together.
Ride the waves. And you've got your year coming up.
Yeah.
Party. Are you doing anything for it, Maso?
Stand by. I'll probably be on a solo date somewhere.
Great. Great.
Actually, I
You need to
do
plan something big.
Yeah. Do you know what else will have happened by the time this drops as well?
Talk to me.
Noddy's Builders Night.
Oh, yes.
It was
and-
great. Thank you.
Edenvale at Brunswick Aces.
Thank
We've got
you.
a lot. We've got a lot between now and when this episode drops. Follow us on Instagram, Booze Free Bands.
There it is.
That's where you see all the bits and bobs.
Love you.
Bye, Maso.
Bye.
Love yous. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. This podcast is proudly produced by our audio engineer, music extraordinaire, Eric Ladd.
We love you, Eric.